Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, George, we've got company.
Yes, it's the Amident program, and time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen. For healthy laughter, it's George and Gracie, and for healthier teeth with fewer cavities, it's Amident toothpaste. Well, last night George took Gracie to the ballet, and it's an evening he'll never forget, but he'd like to. To Gracie, it was a new and exciting experience, and she's still thrilled about it.
Oh, gee, everybody was there. Did you notice Bob Taylor and Barbara Stanwyck sitting in front of us?
Yeah, that Barbara Stanwyck certainly is gorgeous.
Oh, I'll say, those actors really marry beautiful women, don't you, George?
Yes, that we do.
During intermission, there was some very exciting gossip in the powder room.
Oh?
Mrs. Harris said, I wonder why Sarah Treadwell didn't come to the ballet. So I said, well, maybe she had a fight with her husband. And she said, oh, not Sarah. And I said, well, I don't blame her if he's running around with another woman. So she said, poor Sarah, who will take care of their 5 children? And I said, well, not that no good husband of hers.
Well, sounds real exciting.
Oh, yes, it would be even more exciting if I knew who Sarah Treadwell was.
You, don't know Sarah Treadwell.
No, I don't even know Mrs. Harris.
Interesting yarn. What did you think of the ballet?
Oh, I loved it. Although you dozed off a couple times.
I ate too much dinner. Pickles were delicious.
But the dancers were so polite. They danced on their toes so they wouldn't wake you.
Well, to show my appreciation, I'll go backstage and teach them how to dance the Peabody.
Peabody? What's that?
He's a banjo player who's married to Sarah Treadwell.
Oh. You know, the last scene of the ballet disappointed me. You remember how the big, strong, handsome man in tights chased the beautiful ballerina?
Yeah.
He chased her around that stage like crazy. She ran and he ran. She jumped and he jumped. She flew and he flew. When he finally caught her, boom, down came the curtain. I wish he'd started chasing her about 10 minutes sooner.
Well, we'll read about it in Luella Parsons' column. Honey, that was the idea of the ballet. When the fellow caught the girl, the show was over.
It's a good thing Bill Goodwin isn't a ballet dancer. The show would have been over in 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Bill is slowing up. Come in.
Hello, George.
Hello, Ralph. How are you? Gracie, you know Ralph Hanley. He makes out our income tax every year.
Of course. How are you, Mr. Hanley?
Fine, thank you, Mrs. Burns.
Well, George told me you were coming, so to help you, I figured out our income tax this year. You'll find it on the desk in the den. The government owes us $6 million.
Mrs. Burns, how did you ever get such a figure?
Nope, starches. Plenty of exercise.
Lots of fresh air, too.
By the way, Mr. Hanley, how come we never got the $9 million I figured the government owed us last year?
They're waiting until next year, and then they'll send us the state of Texas. Ralph, have you had breakfast? Would you like Gracie to scramble you some eggs?
Oh, George, please, we're out of eggs.
The grocer left a dozen yesterday.
I know, but I heard about a new thing called an egg shampoo, so I tried it. But when I shampooed the eggs, they broke.
Just fix us some coffee.
All right.
So, Ralph, how's the tax look this year?
Oh, about the same as last. By the way, I see you're getting your money from a new source this year.
No, I'm still married to Gracie. Uh-oh, you mean the sponsor, the new sponsor?
Yeah, how are they?
Oh, they're wonderful people.
I've been using that Amident toothpaste, and it's great.
Well, thanks, Ralph.
George, if you'll give me the canceled checks and records, I'll get busy. But please, don't let Gracie help me this year. Last year, when I took her to have some papers notarized, the man asked her to identify herself. She opened her compact, looked in the mirror, and said, yes, it's me, all right.
Let's go in the den and get started on this tax.
Oh, well, I better get this ashtray emptied out. It sure fills up in a hurry. Cigar ashes always make me think of Uncle Hubert, Aunt Clara's sixth husband. Gee, he'd loved cigars. I wonder if he ever answered the personal ad that she placed when we found out he'd run away to join the Tramp Fees Act to the circus. Huh. Aunt Clara always said that she. Oh, Aunt Clara's letter. George, can you come here a minute?
I'll be right back, Ralph. Yes, dear?
Oh, good. I wanted to ask you something. It had to do with Aunt Clara.
What about the serial bride?
George, that's no way to talk about my favorite aunt. Now, what was it I was going to ask you?
Honey, Ralph's waiting. Can you ask me later?
No, it has to do with income taxes. She wrote me a question that I need you to ask him.
Aunt Clara wrote you with an income tax question?
Yes?
Well, what was the question so I can get back to work?
Please, dear, let me think for a minute. It's right on the tip of my brain.
The tip of your brain?
Well, yes, that's where a thought lives before it gets to the tip of your tongue.
Oh,
No, I know. George, can you ask him how much a woman can deduct for a missing husband?
did Aunt Clara lose another bridegroom?
Uncle Silas is missing, and if the government will allow it, I feel sure that she'll be able
Tracy,
to.
I've seen your Aunt Clara. Silas isn't missing. He's hiding.
Oh, no, George, he's missing. You see, Uncle Silas's hobby is glass blowing. Every night he'd stay on the back porch blowing glass, and one night he blew a bottle around himself.
He sat on the back porch and blew a bottle around himself.
And in the morning, the milkman took him away with the empties.
Gracie, you don't believe that story, do you?
Well, why not? Lots of people have back porches.
Oh, yes, I forgot that.
And poor Aunt Clara has had to support herself by selling homemade bread.
That's not easy.
Aunt Clara is a smart businesswoman, so she didn't sell her bread the day she made it. She kept it until the next day.
Why was that?
Well, it was day-old bread, and she could sell it cheaper.
Funny. That sounds right to me. Well, Ralph can't help. He specializes in actors. He just finished Jack Benny's income tax yesterday.
Do actors have special deductions, George?
Sure. For example, the other day you bought stamps to answer my fan mail. That's deductible.
Oh, well, gee, that's 3 cents right there.
Wait a minute. 3 cents? You told me you spent $32.03. Explain that.
Well, you know how when you go by the post office, you have to pass Bullock's department store?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Excuse me, Mrs. Burns. I can't go on with your tax until you explain some of these expenses. Now here's an item, $50 for 10 pogo sticks. Why'd you buy 10?
Well, that's all they had.
But Mrs. Burns, what do you want with them?
Well, those sticks come in very handy if you're ever attacked by a pogo.
George, where's the aspirin?
You'll find 2 bottles in the bottom drawer of the desk.
Thanks.
Gracie, just what is a pogo?
I don't know, but I couldn't tell him that. He might think I was dumb.
Now he thinks you're smart.
George, do you think our tax bill will be high this year?
Yeah, but thank goodness for the community property law.
Community property law?
That's right.
What's that?
It's a law that says that half of everything I've got is yours and half of everything you got is mine.
Oh? Well, then how come I only get 1/4 of what we make?
Well, that's the way it works out. I'll show you. Now here in my hand, I've got $1 and change. Half of everything I've got is yours. Here's 50 cents.
Thank you.
Now, half of everything you've got is mine. How much have you got?
50 cents.
Give me a quarter. There, you see how that works?
I see who it works. Let's do that again, and this time I'll start with $1.
Okay.
Now, half of everything I've got is yours. Here's 50 cents.
Thanks.
And then, how does the second part go again?
Half of everything you've got is mine. How much have you got?
50 cents.
Give me a quarter.
Here.
Thanks.
Oh, you're right, George. It comes out the same way each time.
Well, sure it does.
You must be awfully discouraged being married to a woman who doesn't understand any money.
Well, sometimes it comes in real handy.
Say, George, I've been talking to Mr. Handley a few minutes ago. I said, why does the government need so much money? And he said, because the government has a $3 billion deficit.
That's right.
So why don't they buy a cheaper one?
They like the one with the rear view mirrors.
Oh,
Gracie, the government needs our tax money to run the country. Part of it goes to pay the salaries of the president, the cabinet, congressmen.
George, do Republicans have to pay part of President Truman's salary?
Well, sure.
That's really rubbing it in, isn't it?
The government needs money to, excuse me, and the government needs money to run the Army and the Navy. Without soldiers and sailors, we wouldn't be safe.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, George, but these items are driving me nuts. Mrs. Burns, what is this? One wave, $110?
$110? Gracie, who gave you that wave?
Muriel Roberts. When I waved back, I drove into a telephone pole.
Anything else you want to know, Ralph?
Give me some more aspirin.
Now, what were we talking about?
Interesting stuff. The taxes.
Oh, right. I know how the government can save a fortune. Do away with the mint.
Do away with the mint.
Sure. Why don't we just...
Do away with it?
Yes. Why print money? Why not buy ready-made?
That's an idea.
We can buy it from China. I hear their money is very cheap. You know, another way the government can save money is to stop printing stamps. We don't use them anyway. My sister Bessie mails letters every day and never uses a stamp.
Then they must be returned.
That's the idea. Bessie's crazy about the postman.
Come in.
Hi, Burns.
Oh, hello, Bill.
How are you, Bill? Are you still in love?
More than ever, Gracie. It was just a week ago today that I met Ann Nelson. I went to buy her some flowers. As I was standing there waiting for them, I realized that this was the only girl for me.
She really got you, huh?
Oh man, wait till you meet this florist.
You fell in love with the florist. It's a good thing you buy your cigarettes from a machine.
Bill, what happened to Anne?
Well, certain people said I was interested in Ann just for her money.
Who said that?
Her banker when I checked her account.
So, Bill, you mean to say that you walked into a florist shop and fell in love with a girl just like that?
Oh no, there was some dialogue first. I said, "Hello, miss, I'd like to buy you some flowers." She said, "Roses are nice." And I said, "Fine." She said, "How do you like the stems?" I said, "Gorgeous. And the rest of you is cute too." And we were engaged.
Well, there's nothing like a nice long courtship.
Gee, what a sweet girl, George. She gave me a carnation for my buttonhole.
Well, now that's a silly trade. What is she going to do with your buttonhole?
Press it in a book.
Bill, I'm going to ask the Mortons over for dinner tomorrow night. It's Blanche's birthday. How about you and your girl joining us?
We'd love to, Gracie.
Oh, good. I'll phone Blanche.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Blanche. It's Gracie. Would you and us get together and have dinner tomorrow night to celebrate your birthday?
Oh, I'd love to. I'll ask Harry and call you back.
All right. Oh, incidentally, I helped Harry decide on your present. You're going to love it.
Oh, what is it, Gracie?
Well, I can't tell you. It's a surprise.
Ah, please.
Uh-uh.
Well, let me guess. Is it a new stove?
Well, you're so close, I might as well tell you. It's an alligator bag.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad you know, Blanche. She was going to put it in a candy box. I was afraid you were going to eat it.
Huh. Well, yeah, I'll call you back, Gracie.
All right, bye.
Goodbye. Gracie, this is Blanche. We'll be there for dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, good. We'll expect you around 6:30, Blanche. Oh, what kind of mints do you like? Winter green or clove?
Why?
I'm making hot mince pie.
We're on a diet, Gracie. See you tomorrow night.
Bye. George, where did Bill go?
His girl Mona is sitting out in the car. I told him to bring her in.
Isn't it wonderful? Bill's at last really in love.
I hope he doesn't meet anybody on the way out to the car. What a guy. A new romance every week.
George, it's me again. Mrs. Burns, can you explain this item? One rubber boot for left foot, $10.
Well, what would you like explained, Mr. Hanley?
Oh, why did you buy it?
It's a bargain. I only got it for half of what a pair would cost.
But why did you buy one left boot?
Well, I've only got one left foot.
Satisfied, Ralph?
Oh, sure. I'll go in and finish the income task.
Income task? Hey, Ralph, you're going in the closet.
Oh, pardon me.
A little worried about that guy.
George and Gracie, I'd like you to meet my fiance, Miss Knox. Mona, this is Mr. and Mrs. Burns.
Oh, I've heard so much about you, Mona.
Hello, Miss Knox.
Nice to meet you both. Bill has told me all about you. He said you've been working for him for almost 10 years.
That's what Bill told you?
Yes, he says you're a wonderful announcer.
Bill, this may come as a surprise, but I'm thinking very seriously of leaving you.
George, Gracie, come here a minute. Play along with me. I'm trying to make an impression.
Oh, I got it. Mona, we're all gonna play along with Bill.
Gracie.
Mona is not in on this.
Oh, forget it, Mona.
As I was saying, Mona, George has been announcing me for 10 years. Is that right, boy?
Yes, sir.
Boy?
I say funny things. I'm a comedian.
And, what do you do, Mrs. Burns?
Oh, I help my husband. He is one of the greatest announcers in the radio business. Has a beautiful voice.
Oh, I'd love to hear it. Won't you show me what you do, Mr. Burns?
He'd be glad to. Listen, are you preventing tooth decay with Amident ammoniated tooth? Take it, George.
Paste.
Amident tastes delightful. It leaves your mouth bright, sparkling, your mouth feeling fresh and clean. Amident is a grand wake-up tooth.
Paste.
Amident is recommended by more dentists than any other dentifrice. Give your entire family the protection of Amident ammoniated tooth.
Paste.
Okay, now, George, that's enough. Mona, even if it means losing you, I've got to tell you the truth. George isn't the announcer. Amident's a great product, and they have the world's greatest announcer to talk about it. But I was just too modest to tell you it was me.
Yes, Mona, he's a real shy boy.
Yes, Mr. Hanley? Can I help you with something?
Folks, I want you to meet Mr. Hanley.
How do you do, Mr. Hanley?
I bet you have a question for me, don't you, Mr. Hanley? I'll be right in. See you tomorrow night, Bill. We're going to have the same dinner you had last time you were here. So will you please stop by the Brown Derby and ask them to send over a bottle of bourbon?
You're making stewed chicken again, huh, Gracie?
Yes. Well, you see, stewed chicken is the most tender, but George wasn't much help the last time I cooked it. He said he had to sober up the chicken before he could kill it.
Say, George, who's the guy with the loose shingles? One of Gracie's relatives?
Nah, he's our tax man. He's just trying to figure out Gracie's check stubs.
Huh. Well, that explains it. Come on, Mona. So long, George.
Bye.
Bye.
You know, George, I don't think Ralph Hanley should be doing our taxes. He's too nervous. He asked me why I bought 1,000 ping pong bowls. When I told him, he seemed very upset.
Well, why'd you buy them?
Well, I used them instead of mothballs. They don't smell up the closet.
But they don't kill any moths.
Oh, yes, they do. When the moths bite into them and there's nothing there, they starve to death.
Don't let anybody steal this idea. Hello? Thanks, Harry. See you soon. Bye.
Who was that on the phone?
Harry Morton said he's coming over to help me with our income tax.
But we have a tax man.
We had one. Harry just saw him jump out our back window and start running down the street. Gracie, come over here and look at Ralph.
My, he's flying, isn't he?
Yes. And do you know why?
Oh, well, sure. He's got to get the tax of Washington by March 15th.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, that wraps up our vintage radio night, folks. We sincerely hope you enjoyed our adaptation tonight as much as we did. On behalf of our entire cast and crew, have a wonderful evening. God bless you all richly, and good night.